The moment you step back, life starts working for you in ways your tired mind could never force. But when I say step back, my dear, I do not mean give up. I do not mean stop caring. I do not mean throw your dreams away and say nothing matters anymore. I do not mean sit in a corner and wait for life to do everything while you forget your own power. No, I mean something much deeper. I mean the quiet moment when you stop pushing from fear. I mean the holy pause where you no longer chase every answer, check every sign, repeat every worry, and pull on every door that has not opened yet. I mean the soft space where your heart can breathe again, where your body can rest again, where your soul can finally whisper, "Let me help you." So many people are tired because they think they must hold the whole world together with their own hands. They believe they must fix every delay, explain every silence, control every step, and make every dream happen at the exact time their mind has chosen. They wake up already tense. They check the phone before they check in with their own heart. They look for proof before they look for peace. They carry yesterday, worry about tomorrow, and miss the quiet help that is already here today. And then they wonder why life feels heavy. My dear, life feels heavy when you are trying to carry what was never meant to be carried by fear. There is a time to move, yes. There is a time to act. There is a time to make the call, write the page, clean the space, care for the body, speak the truth, and take the next loving step. But there is also a time to stop touching the wound over and over. There is a time to stop digging up the seed to see if it has grown. There is a time to stop standing at the same closed door, pushing with both hands, crying because it has not opened yet. Sometimes the closed door is not a punishment. Sometimes the closed door is protect, tie-in. Sometimes the pause is not delay. Sometimes the pause is life arranging something better than your fear was asking for. When you step back, you are not saying, "I do not want this." You are saying, "I will no longer lose myself trying to get this." That is very different. You can love a dream and still loosen your grip. You can want a better life and still breathe. You can pray, work, hope, and trust without turning your body into a place of pressure. Stepping back means you stop making fear the leader. You stop letting panic tell you what to do. You stop asking your tired mind to solve everything at once. You give life a little room. You give your heart a little room. You give peace a little doorway to enter. Think of your hands for a moment. When your hands are tight, they cannot receive. They cannot hold a flower gently. They cannot feel the rain. They cannot let a small bird rest. They are too closed, too hard, too afraid. But when the hands open, life can place something there. Love can rest there. Guidance can land there. The same is true for the heart. A heart closed by fear may still be working very hard, but it cannot receive very well. It is too busy guarding, chasing, asking, checking, and fighting. But when the heart opens even a little, life has a place to enter. This is why stepping back is not weakness. It takes strength to stop forcing when the mind is screaming, "Do more." It takes love to pause when fear says, "You are falling behind." It takes faith to say, "I have done what I can for this moment. Now I allow life to move." Many people think strength means pushing harder. But sometimes real strength is the soft choice not to push from fear. Real strength is saying, "I will not break myself to prove I am worthy. I will not chase what makes me lose my peace. I will not turn every quiet moment into a problem." You may have been taught that if you are not always doing something, you are failing. You may have been taught that rest is lazy, silence is empty, and waiting means losing. But that is not the truth of the soul. The soul knows there is power in stillness. The soul knows that the earth does not shout when it grows flowers. The sun does not rush to rise. The moon does not beg to be seen. The tree does not pull at its own leaves. It stands, receives, grows, and trusts the quiet work of life. You are part of life too. You are allowed to have seasons. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to grow without forcing every part of the process. When you step back, you begin to hear what you could not hear while you were chasing. You may hear your body say, "I am tired." You may hear your heart say, "This is not love, this is fear." You may hear your inner wisdom say, "Wait, not this way, not right now. There is another path." But when the mind is too loud, these gentle messages are missed. Fear is noisy. Peace is quiet. Fear shouts, "Now, now, now." Peace says, "Breathe. Listen. Take the next right step when it is clear." And many times the answer does not come because we are not smart enough. It comes because we are quiet enough. So before you chase the next thing, pause. Before you send another message from worry, pause. Before you check again, pause. Before you decide that life has forgotten you, pause. A pause can save you from many actions that were only fear wearing a mask. A pause can help you feel the difference between a true next step and an anxious reaction. A pause can bring you back into your body. It can soften the shoulders. It can bring air back into the lungs. It can remind you that you are here. You are safe in this moment, and you do not need to solve the whole story today. There are times when you may feel that if you step back, everything will fall apart. This fear can feel very real. The mind says, "If I stop thinking about it, I will lose it. If I stop checking, I will miss something. If I stop controlling, life will make a mistake." But life is not as helpless as fear tells you. Life knows how to move. Life knows how to bring people together. Life knows how to close one door and open another. Life knows how to heal, teach, guide, remove, return, and renew. You are not the only power in the room. There is a wisdom greater than your worry. There is a timing softer than your panic. There is a path that may not be seen yet, but it is not lost. To step back is to remember that you are not alone in your own life. You have breath moving through you without your command. Your heart beats without you forcing it. The seasons change without your help. The stars do not ask you to hold them in place. So why must every part of your future be carried by fear? Why must every blessing be dragged toward you? Why must every answer be pulled from life by worry? Maybe there is another way. Maybe the way is not to stop caring, but to care from peace. Maybe the way is not to stop acting, but to act from trust. Maybe the way is not to give up your dream, but to stop turning the dream into a place where you hurt yourself. You can love what you want and still let it breathe. You can pray for something and still release the timing. You can take care of your life and still stop trying to control every detail. This is a new kind of power. It is not loud. It does not need to prove itself. It does not rush into every empty space. It says, I am willing to do my part, and I am willing to let life do its part. It says, I can take one step without needing to see the whole road. It says, I can be still and still be moving in the right direction. Many beautiful things happen in the unseen space. A seed grows in the dark soil before it rises into the light. A baby grows quietly before it is held in the arms. A wound closes slowly before the skin looks new. A new belief forms quietly before the life outside changes. Just because you cannot see it yet does not mean nothing is happening. Just because the answer has not arrived today does not mean life is not working. Just because the door is not open this minute does not mean the path is closed forever. Sometimes life is working under the surface, and your job is not to dig it up. Your job is to keep your heart soft enough to receive. When you step back, you may feel a small fear rise. His is normal. The part of you that has lived by control may not trust peace at first. It may think peace means danger. It may think rest means loss. It may think silence means nothing is happening. Be kind to this part of you. Do not fight it. Do not shame it. Simply place a hand on your heart and say, I am safe to step back. I am safe to breathe. I am safe to let life help me. Say it slowly. Say it until the body begins to understand that you are not leaving your life. You are returning to it in a softer way. Stepping back is a return. It is a return to your breath, a return to your body, a return to your inner voice, a return to trust. It is the moment you stop running in circles and ask, what is truly needed now? Sometimes what is needed is action. Sometimes what is needed is rest. Sometimes what is needed is silence. Sometimes what is needed is a clean room, a glass of water, a page of writing, a gentle walk, a prayer, a clear no, or a brave yes. But you can only know this when you are not being pushed by fear. Fear wants everything at once. Wisdom gives you one step, and that one step is enough for this moment. You do not need the whole map before you begin to trust. You do not need every answer before you breathe. You do not need every sign before you stop hurting yourself with worry. You can step back right now, even a little. You can unclench the jaw. You can drop the shoulders. You can open the hand. You can stop asking life to prove itself every minute. You can say, I am willing to let good come in ways I cannot plan. I am willing to let support arrive in ways I cannot control. I am willing to stop forcing the river and let it carry me for a while. There is deep peace in this, not because life becomes perfect, but because you stop fighting life in every breath. Not because every problem is gone, but because you are no longer making your own body the battlefield. You begin to feel that you can be with yourself through change. You begin to understand that a delay is not always a denial. You begin to see that silence is not always rejection. You begin to trust that what is meant for your growth does not require you to lose your soul to receive it. The moment you step back, life has space to work. The moment you soften, guidance has space to speak. The moment you stop chasing, what is truly aligned has space to come closer. Fear can sound very wise when you are tired. It can sound like planning. It can sound like care. It can sound like love. It can even sound like discipline. Fear says, do something now. Fix this now. Make them understand now. Find the answer now. Check again. Push again. Try again. If you stop, you will lose everything. And because fear speaks with such strong energy, the body believes it. The heart tightens. The breath gets small. The mind starts running from one thought to another like it is being chased. And before you know it, you are no longer living from peace. You are living from alarm. This is why so many people are not only tired in the body, they are tired in the soul. They have been obeying fear all day. Fear tells them what to check, what to think, what to say, what to imagine, what to expect, and what to worry about next. Fear tells them to read between every line. Fear tells them that a delay means something is wrong. Fear tells them that if someone is quiet, they must no longer care. Fear tells them that if money is slow, they are not safe. Fear tells them that if the body needs time, healing is not happening. Fear tells them that if a dream is not here yet, it may never come. Fear speaks like a harsh ruler, and the gentle heart follows because it only wants to feel safe. But fear is not true safety. Fear is a loud guard standing at the door, warning you about everything, even the things that are not here. It may try to protect you, but it often keeps you in a cage. It says, think about it again. Maybe worry will help, but worry does not soften the path. It only hardens the body. Fear says, control it more, but control does not always create peace. It often creates more pressure. Fear says, do not stop. If you stop, life will pass you by. But sometimes the very act of stopping is what lets life catch up with you. You may notice this fear in simple ways. You sit down to rest, and suddenly the mind brings a list of everything you have not done. You try to enjoy a quiet moment, and the mind says, you should be doing more. You receive a blessing, and the mind says, what if it goes away? You take one step forward, and the mind says, it is not enough. This is the voice that never lets you arrive. No matter what you do, it says more effort, more proof, more checking, more control, more fixing. And if you listen to this voice for too long, even your good life can begin to feel like a problem to manage. My dear, this is not your natural state. You were not born to live with your shoulders near your ears and your heart waiting for danger. You were not born to turn every dream into a test of your worth. You were not born to believe that love must be chased, peace must be earned, and support must be forced. You were born with a deeper rhythm inside you, a rhythm that knows when to move and when to rest, a rhythm that knows when to speak and when to wait, a rhythm that knows that life is not only built by pressure, it is also built by trust. Fear often pushes hardest around the things you care about most. When you care about love, fear says, hold on tighter. When you care about success, fear says, work until you are empty. When you care about healing, fear says, watch every sign, be afraid of every feeling. When you care about your future, fear says, plan every detail or something bad will happen. This is how fear uses your beautiful desires against you. It takes what you love and turns it into a place of panic. It takes your dream and makes it heavy. It takes your prayer and fills it with worry. It takes your care and changes it into control. But love does not need to feel like panic. A true desire does not need to punish you. A dream can call you forward without whipping you. A prayer can be deep without being desperate. You can want something with your whole heart and still be kind to yourself while you wait. You can care deeply and still sleep at night. You can take strong action and still keep your peace. The problem is not desire. The problem is fear sitting in the driver's seat. When fear is driving, you may do many things, but they do not feed you. You may send messages, make plans, work late, check signs, search for answers, and keep moving. Yet inside, you still feel empty. Why? Because the action is not coming from trust. It is coming from, I am not safe unless this happens right now. That kind of action may look strong from the outside, but inside it often feels like begging life to calm your fear. And fear is never calm for long. Even when it gets one answer, it asks for another. Even when one door opens, it worries about the next one. Even when one blessing comes, it starts thinking of how it could be lost. This is why stepping back is so powerful. It breaks the chain. It says to fear, "You may be loud, but you are not my master." It says, "I can listen to my body before I obey panic." It says, "I can take a breath before I react." It says, "I can wait for a clean feeling before I move." This does not mean fear disappears forever. It means fear no longer gets to choose every step. It means you are learning to lead yourself with love. Your body will show you when fear is pushing too hard. The body is very honest. The jaw may lock. The chest may feel tight. The stomach may turn. The breath may become shallow. The hands may reach for the phone again and again. The eyes may scan for proof. The mind may repeat the same thought many times. These are not signs that you are weak. They are signs that your system is asking for care. The body is saying, "Please slow down. Please come back. Please stop making every moment an emergency." When you hear this message, do not judge yourself. Do not say, "Why am I like this?" Say, "Something in me is afraid and it needs love." This is a much kinder way. Fear softens when it is met with love. It grows louder when it is met with shame. If a child was frightened, you would not shout at the child for being afraid. You would come closer. You would speak softly. You would hold their hand and say, "I am here. We are safe right now. We will take one step at a time." Your own inner fear needs the same voice. So when fear says, "Push harder," you can answer, "I will move with wisdom, not panic." When fear says, "Check again," you can answer, "I am allowed to rest from checking." When fear says, "If you step back, you will lose it," you can answer, "What is meant for my peace will not require me to destroy myself." When fear says, "Nothing is happening," you can answer, "Life can work even when I cannot see it." These words may feel simple, but simple words can calm the body when they are said with love. Fear also makes time feel cruel. It says, "Everything must happen today." It says your life is late. It says everyone else is ahead. It says you have missed your chance. But spiritual truth is not ruled by panic time. There is a deeper time. A time where growth happens quietly. A time where lessons become wisdom. A time where the wrong thing falls away before the right thing can arrive. A time where your heart becomes ready for what you asked for. Sometimes life is not refusing you. It is preparing you. Sometimes life is not late. It is waiting for the moment when the blessing will not break under the weight of fear. When you push too hard, you may not notice what life is showing you. You may miss the gentle yes because you are angry at the loud no. You may miss the open window because you are still beating on the closed door. You may miss the small sign of progress because your mind only accepts a big result. Fear makes you blind to small blessings. It says, "This is not enough." Peace says, "This is a beginning." Fear says, "Why is it not here yet?" Peace says, "What is this moment teaching me?" Fear says, "I must force the whole path." Peace says, "I can take the next step." This is a very different way to live. It does not remove effort. It cleans the energy behind the effort. It does not mean you never plan. It means you plan without worshiping control. It does not mean you never work. It means you work without hating yourself. It does not mean you never want. It means you want without turning the wanting into suffering. The same action can feel very different depending on where it comes from. A message sent from peace feels clear. The same message sent from fear feels needy and heavy. A task done from love can build self-respect. The same task done from panic can drain the soul. A plan made from trust can support you. The same plan made from fear can become a prison. Ask yourself gently, where am I pushing because I do not trust life? Where am I acting from fear instead of love? Where am I checking because I am afraid to feel? Where am I forcing because stillness feels unsafe? These questions are not here to blame you. They are here to open a door. The moment you notice fear, you are already less trapped by it. Awareness is light, and when light enters, the old pattern cannot hide in the same way. Sometimes fear will tell you that stepping back means you do not care enough. But this is not true. Stepping back may be the most loving thing you can do. It may save your peace. It may save your energy. It may save your dignity. It may save you from saying words you do not mean. It may save you from taking action that makes things harder. It may save you from pouring your whole soul into something that needs space. Love often knows how to wait. Fear does not. Love can hold a dream with open hands. Fear grabs. Love listens. Fear assumes. Love breathes. Fear rushes. Love trusts the quiet timing of life. Think of a garden. If you water a plant gently, it grows. But if you pour too much water every hour because you are afraid it will die, you harm the roots. If you pull on the stem to make it taller, you break it. If you dig into the soil every day to check the seed, you disturb what is trying to form. This is how many people treat their dreams. They love the dream, but fear makes them disturb it. They want love, but fear makes them chase. They want peace, but fear makes them control. They want healing, but fear makes them watch every small feeling with terror. The garden needs care, yes, but it also needs space. Your life is a garden too. It needs care. It needs action. It needs honesty. It needs water and light. But it also needs rest. It needs seasons. It needs room for roots. It needs quiet days when nothing big seems to happen, but something is growing under the surface. Do not call those days empty. Do not call them wasted. A quiet day can be a healing day. A slow day can be a strong day. A day when you choose not to force can be the day your nervous system begins to trust you again. Fear may have trained you to think that peace comes after everything is fixed. But peace can also be the way things begin to heal. You do not have to wait for every person to understand you before you breathe. You do not have to wait for every answer before you soften. You do not have to wait for the perfect future before you stop hurting yourself today. Peace is not only the reward at the end. Peace is also the path. Peace helps you see. Peace helps you choose. Peace helps you hear the small voice inside. Peace helps you stop giving your power to every passing fear. When fear is making you push too hard, life can feel like a fight. Every day becomes a battle with time, with people, with the body, with the future, with yourself. But you were not meant to fight your whole life. You were meant to grow. You were meant to learn. You were meant to love. You were meant to create. You were meant to rest and rise again. You were meant to feel supported by something deeper than pressure. The moment you step back, you begin to leave the fight. You begin to say, I do not need to win against life. I can work with life. Working with life feels different. It feels like asking, what is mine to do today? Not, how do I control everything? It feels like saying, what is the next honest step? Not, how do I force the whole outcome? It feels like noticing when the body is tired and giving it care. It feels like knowing when to speak and when to be quiet. It feels like doing the work, then letting the work breathe. It feels like offering love, then not begging love to return in one exact form. It feels like praying, then leaving space for the answer to come in a way you did not expect. My dear, fear may have been with you for a long time. It may have helped you survive old seasons. It may have made you alert when life felt uncertain. So do not hate it. Thank it gently, then teach it a new way. Say, I know you are trying to protect me, but we do not need to live like this anymore. We do not need to push every moment. We do not need to turn every silence into danger. We do not need to make every dream heavy. We can breathe. We can trust. We can take one step at a time. As you practice this, fear may still rise. That is okay. The goal is not to never feel fear. The goal is to stop letting fear hold the steering wheel. You can feel fear and still choose peace. You can feel worry and till pause. You can feel the urge to chase and still step back. You can feel the old pattern and still choose the new one. This is how change happens. not by becoming perfect, but by returning again and again. Every time you step back from fear, you teach your body a new truth. You teach it, we are safe without chasing. We are safe without forcing. We are safe even when we do not know everything yet. And slowly, the body begins to believe you. The breath becomes deeper. The mind becomes less wild. The heart becomes less afraid of silence. You begin to feel the difference between action that comes from fear and action that comes from love. You begin to notice that when you are calm, you make better choices. You say fewer words you regret. You stop giving your energy to things that only drain you. You become less willing to abandon yourself for a quick answer. You become more able to wait for what feels true. This is the gift hidden inside stepping back. It shows you who has been leading you. It shows you where fear has been wearing the clothes of duty, love, effort, and care. It helps you gently take your power back, not with anger, not with force, but with a soft, firm decision. I will not live from panic anymore. I will not let fear rush me into actions that do not honor my peace. I will not make my life smaller by trying to control every part of it. I choose to breathe. I choose to listen. I choose to let life work with me. Life cannot place a blessing into a closed fist. It cannot guide a heart that is too busy fighting the path. It cannot speak clearly to a mind that is filled with panic noise every minute. When you hold everything too tightly, you may think you are protecting what matters, but often you are only squeezing the life out of it. You are not giving it room to grow. You are not giving yourself room to breathe. You are not giving the unseen room to move. And life, my dear, works best where there is space. This does not mean you must stop caring. It means you must stop choking the thing you care about. Love needs space. Dreams need space. Healing needs space. Answers need space. Even the body needs space to repair. If you watch every little feeling with fear, the body feels watched by danger. If you check every delay with worry, the mind begins to believe delay means harm. If you hold a dream with panic, the dream becomes a heavy weight instead of a living seed. To hold something with love is very different from holding it with fear. When you hold something with fear, your energy says, I do not trust life. I do not trust timing. I do not trust myself. I do not trust that good can come unless I force it. This feeling closes the heart. It makes the body tight. It makes the mind rush. It makes you look for signs of danger even in peaceful moments. But when you hold something with love, your energy says, I care and I trust. I will do my part and I will leave room for life. I will take the next step, but I will not demand to see the whole path today. This opens the heart. It makes room for guide, and it lets your inner wisdom return. There is a simple image for this. Imagine standing in a river, trying to push the water back with your hands. You push and push, but the water keeps moving. You become tired. You become angry. You begin to think the river is against you. But the river is only being a river. It was never meant to be held still. Life is like this too. It moves, it changes, it turns, it brings and removes. It opens and closes. It teaches and renews. When you try to stop every movement, you become tired, not because life is wrong, but because you are fighting what was meant to flow. Now imagine that instead of fighting the river, you learn to stand in it with softer knees. You learn to breathe. You learn to feel where the current is moving. You learn to take one careful step. You do not control the whole river, but you can be present in it. You can listen. You can move with wisdom. You can stop wasting all your strength trying to make water obey fear. This is what happens when you step back. You stop fighting the flow long enough to feel where life is guiding you. So often, what we call control is really fear asking for comfort. We say, I just need to know. We say, I just need to make sure. We say, I just need to fix it. But underneath, the heart is saying, I am scared. And if we do not stop and care for that fear, we keep trying to control the outside world to calm an inside wound. We keep asking people, money, time, work, love, and the future to make us feel safe. But true safety begins inside. It begins when you can say, even though I do not know everything, I can stay with myself. Even though I cannot control this moment, I can breathe. Even though I cannot see the full road, I can take one step. Holding too tight often comes from the belief that life will not help unless you force it. Maybe you learned this from old pain. Maybe there were times when you had to fight for care, fight to be heard, fight to feel safe, fight to be loved. So now, when something matters, your body thinks it must fight again. It says, do not relax, do not trust, do not wait. You must make it happen. Please be gentle with yourself. This pattern did not come from nowhere. It may have once been your way to survive. But what helped you survive an old season may not help you receive a new blessing. A new life often asks for a new energy. If you want peace, you cannot keep feeding panic. If you want love, you cannot keep chasing from fear. If you want healing, you cannot keep speaking to the body like it is your enemy. If you want guidance, you cannot keep filling every quiet space with noise. Life may be trying to bring you something softer, but your hands may still be shaped like a fight. This is why stepping back matters. It helps the hands open. It helps the heart remember that it does not have to grab everything to be safe. Think about a butterfly. If you see one resting near you and you reach too quickly, it flies away. Not because it hates you, but because the energy is too sudden, too strong. Gentle, things do not come closer to a harsh grip. Peace is like this. Guidance is like this. Trust is like this. Even love is like this. You cannot force a soft thing to stay by becoming harder. You invite it by becoming safe inside yourself. You invite it by softening the space around it. You invite it by saying, I do not need to own this moment, I can be with it. When you hold too tight, you also stop seeing clearly. Fear makes everything look urgent. It makes every small thing feel like a sign. It makes every delay feel personal. It makes every change feel like loss. But when you step back, you may see that some things were not signs of danger at all. They were simply life moving in its own time. A person needed space. A plan needed more care. A dream needed a better route. A body needed rest. A door needed time. A better path needed to form. Fear says, this is bad. Peace says, let me look again with softer eyes. Softer eyes can see what panic misses. Softer eyes can see the small good. Softer eyes can see when an old path is no longer kind. Softer eyes can see when a desire is true and when it is only a need for proof. Softer eyes can see when the next step is simple. Fear makes life look like a wall. Peace shows the small opening. Fear makes silence feel empty. Peace shows silence as a room where wisdom can speak. Fear makes waiting feel like punishment. Peace shows waiting as a time where roots grow. You may ask, but how do I stop holding so tightly when I care so much? Start with the body. The body is the doorway. You do not need to force trust with the mind. Begin by unclenching the hands. Loosen the jaw. Drop the shoulders. Let the belly soften. Take one slow breath, then another. Say, I can care without clinging. I can love without chasing. I can want without forcing. I can act without panic. Let the body hear these words. Let them enter slowly. The body may not believe them at first, but with practice, it will begin to feel the truth. Holding tightly may feel like love, but often it is fear trying to dress as love. Love does not say, I must control this, or I am not safe. Love says, I will care with respect. Love does not say, I must get this answer now, or I cannot breathe. Love says, I can breathe while the answer comes. Love does not say, I must make life move at my speed. Love says, I can trust the timing of what is true. Love is not weak. Love can take action. Love can speak clearly. Love can choose, leave, begin, build, and change. But love does not need to whip the soul to move. The more you step back, the more you notice that life has its own way of helping. A thought may come when you are washing a cup. A clear answer may rise during a walk. A new idea may appear after rest. A person may reach out when you stop waiting by the phone. A door may open after you release the one that would not move. This is not because you stopped caring. It is because you stopped filling every space with fear. You became quiet enough to notice. You became open enough to receive. You became calm enough to act when the action was right. There is a great power in allowing. Allowing does not mean doing nothing forever. It means you stop fighting the part that is not yours to control. You allow people to have their own feelings. You allow timing to have its own wisdom. You allow the body to heal at its own pace while you care for it. You allow a dream to grow step by step. You allow your heart to feel what it feels without rushing it to be fine. You allow life to surprise you. This kind of allowing is not passive. It is deeply alive. It is full of trust. When you hold too tight, you often block your own energy. You may feel tired before you even begin. You may feel heavy even when nothing has happened yet. This is because forcing uses a lot of inner strength. It is like driving with one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. Part of you wants to move, and part of you is full of fear. So there is noise, heat, and pressure inside. Stepping back takes the foot off the brake. It lets the energy move in a cleaner way. You may still act, but the action no longer feels like a fight with yourself. A peaceful action can be very strong. A calm decision can change a life. A soft no can protect your energy. A quiet yes can open a new door. A small step taken from trust can do more than many steps taken from fear. This is because peace gathers your energy. Fear scatters it. When you are afraid, your energy runs into many places at once. What if this happens? What if that does not happen? What did they mean? What if I fail? What if I am too late? But when you step back, energy comes home. You stop leaking life into every imagined fear. You begin to feel whole again. And when you feel more whole, you can hear guidance more clearly. Guidance rarely screams. It often feels like a quiet knowing. It may feel like a simple next step. It may feel like a gentle pull. It may feel like peace around one choice and tightness around another. But if you are always forcing, you may not feel this. You may only hear the loud voice of fear. This is why stillness is not empty. Stillness is full of help. It is where the truth can rise without being pushed down by noise. Sometimes stepping back will show you that the thing you were chasing is not truly for you. This can feel hard, but it is also grace. There are things the heart chases because it thinks they will bring peace, but they only bring more hunger. There are doors the mind wants because it thinks they will prove worth, but they would only lead to more pressure. There are people, plans, and paths that awaken your fear more than your truth. When you step back, you may feel this. You may say, I thought I wanted this, but I wanted the feeling I hoped it would give me. And then life can guide you closer to the real need: love, safety, rest, purpose, care, trust. Other times, stepping back will show you that the dream is still true, but the way you are holding it needs to change. You may still be called to write, build, heal, love, serve, create, or begin again. But now you will do it from a different place. Not from, I must succeed or I am nothing. Not from, I must be chosen or I am not worthy. Not from, I must heal fast or I am failing. But from, this matters to me and I will meet it with love. That shift changes everything. The outer action may look the same, but the inner energy is new. Life starts working for you when you stop making it your enemy. Life starts working for you when you stop seeing every delay as an attack. Life starts working for you when you stop trying to control people into loving you, time into obeying you, and the future into calming you. Life starts working for you when you become a partner with it. You bring your willingness, you bring your care, you bring your next step, and then you leave room for timing, grace, help, and the unseen movement of life. This is a softer path, but it is not a small path. It may ask more courage than forcing ever did. Forcing is often an old habit. Stepping back is a new trust. Forcing lets you feel busy. Stepping back asks you to feel. Forcing gives the mind something to do. Stepping back asks the soul to listen. Forcing can be noisy enough to cover old fear. Stepping back lets that fear rise so it can finally be loved. This is why stepping back may feel strange at first. You are not doing less because you are weak. You are doing less from fear so you can do more from truth. Imagine a room filled with noise. Many people are speaking at once. Music is playing. Doors are opening and closing. Someone is calling your name. In that room, it is hard to hear one gentle voice. Now imagine the room becoming quiet. The noise fades. The air settles. Then you hear the soft voice that was there the whole time. This is what happens inside you. Life may have been guiding you all along, but fear was too loud. The moment you step back, the room inside becomes quiet enough to hear. You do not need to know exactly how life will work for you. That is part of the trust. The mind wants a full plan. It wants proof before peace. It wants to see every step before it relaxes. But the deeper self knows that life often gives light one step at a time. Not the whole road, just enough for the next step. And when you take that step, more light comes. This is how trust grows. Not all at once, but through many small choices to breathe instead of chase, listen instead of panic, open instead of grip. So today, where can you loosen your hold? Where can you stop pressing so hard? Where can you step back without walking away? Perhaps there is a dream you can love more gently. Perhaps there is a person you can stop trying to control. Perhaps there is an answer you can stop demanding for one quiet hour. Perhaps there is a task you can do with care instead of pressure. Perhaps there is a part of your body that needs kind words instead of fear. Perhaps there is a quiet moment waiting to help you come home to yourself. You may be surprised by what happens when you stop squeezing life. The thing that felt stuck may begin to move. The answer that felt far away may become simple. The body that felt tense may begin to soften. The mind that felt full may become clear. The heart that felt needy may begin to feel held from within. This is not magic in the way the mind wants magic. It is the natural result of returning to peace. When the inner storm settles, you can see the path. When the hand opens, it can receive. When the heart softens, life can enter. And even before anything outside changes, something inside has already changed. You are no longer being dragged by fear. You are no longer treating every moment as a test. You are no longer using your own mind as a place of punishment. You are beginning to say, I can be with life as it moves. I can be with myself as I wait. I can be faithful to my path without forcing it. I can trust that what is meant for me does not need my panic to arrive. This is a powerful change. This is the start of a new inner life. Hold your dream like a bird, not like a stone. Hold it with care, but not with pressure. Let it breathe. Let it rest in your open hands. If it is truly yours, your peace will not push it away. Your trust will not destroy it. Your softness will not make life forget you. In fact, your softness may be the very space where it can come closer. Life can work with an open heart. Life can move through a peaceful body. Life can guide a mind that is willing to listen. And when you stop holding so tightly, you may finally feel the gentle truth that was waiting underneath the fear. Life was not asking you to force it. Life was asking you to trust it. There is a great difference between action that comes from peace and action that comes from fear. Both may look the same from the outside. You may send the message. You may make the plan. You may begin the work. You may clean the room. You may take care of the body. You may make a choice. But inside, the energy can be very different. One action feels clear. The other feels tight. One action comes from trust. The other comes from panic. One action says, this is the next loving step. The other action says, if I do not do this right now, something bad will happen. My dear, the action may look the same, but the feeling behind it changes everything. Inspired action has a clean feeling. It does not always feel easy. Sometimes inspired action still asks you to be brave. Sometimes it asks you to speak the truth. Sometimes it asks you to begin before you feel fully ready. Sometimes it asks you to stop hiding, stop waiting, and take one honest step forward. But even when it asks courage from you, it does not make you hate yourself. It does not make you feel like you are being chased. It does not make your body feel like a battlefield. It may feel strong, but it also feels steady. It may stretch you, but it does not break you. Anxious forcing feels different. It has a harsh voice. It says, hurry, push, prove, fix, make it happen now. It makes the chest tight. It makes the hands restless. It makes the mind repeat the same thought again and again. It does not trust the next step. It wants the whole future controlled before it can breathe. It does not ask, what is loving? It asks, how can I stop feeling afraid right now? That is why anxious action often leaves you more tired, even if you see am busy. You are not only doing the task, you are also carrying fear while you do it. You may have felt this in your own life. There are times when you do something and afterward you feel peaceful, even if the result is not here yet. You feel proud because you kept your word to yourself. You feel quiet inside because you acted from truth. Then there are times when you do something and afterward you feel even more nervous. You send one message, then want to send another. You check once, then check again. You make one plan, then start making 10 more because the first one did not calm the fear. That is anxious forcing. It does not know how to rest after action. It keeps asking for more. This is why stepping back is so important. It gives you a moment to ask, am I being guided or am I being pushed by fear? That one question can change the whole day. When you ask it honestly, you may feel the answer in your body. Guidance may feel simple, quiet, and steady. Fear may feel rushed, loud, and tight. Guidance may say, take this one step. Fear may say, do everything now. Guidance may say, speak with love. Fear may say something so they cannot leave. Guidance may say, care for your body. Fear may say, fix yourself quickly because you are not enough. Can you feel the difference? Inspired action respects your peace. It does not demand that you abandon yourself to receive something good. It does not say you must become small to be loved. It does not say you must exhaust yourself to be worthy. It does not say you must chase this until you have no breath left. Inspired action works with your soul, not against it. It may wake you up. It may move you forward. It may ask you to grow, but it will never ask you to be cruel to yourself. Anxious forcing often hides behind good words. It may call itself responsibility. It may call itself discipline. It may call itself love. It may say, I am only doing this because I care. But real care does not feel like punishment. Real discipline does not need shame to move. Real love does not need panic to prove itself. If the energy behind your action is fear, the action may not bring the peace you are looking for. It may bring a short feeling of control, but then the fear returns and asks for more. Fear is never satisfied for long. If you check once, it asks you to check again. If you get one answer, it asks for another. If someone says one kind word, fear asks, but do they really mean it? If one door opens, fear says, but what if it closes? If you make progress, fear says, it is not enough. This is why forcing is so tiring. You are trying to feed a hunger that fear keeps making bigger. The more you obey it, the more it asks from you. Peace asks for less, but gives more. Peace says, take one honest step. Peace says, do what is yours to do today. Peace says, you do not need to solve every detail at once. Peace says, you can move without losing yourself. When you act from peace, your energy gathers. You are not scattered in many directions. You are not trying to fix 10 imagined futures. You are here. You are present. You are doing the thing in front of you with love. That is powerful. My dear, do not confuse calm with doing nothing. Calm can be very active. A peaceful person can work. A peaceful person can choose. A peaceful person can leave what is not right. A peaceful person can begin again. A peaceful person can speak clearly and take strong steps. The difference is that peace does not need to create a storm inside before it moves. Peace can move from inner knowing. Peace can say yes without fear. Peace can say no without guilt. Peace can wait without falling apart. Peace can act without chasing. When you step back, you do not lose your power. You return to your power. You stop giving power to the loudest fear. You stop making every choice from the most afraid part of you. You begin to choose from a deeper place. This deeper place may not shout. It may not rush. It may speak softly. But its wisdom is real. It may say, rest first, then answer. It may say, do not send that message from pain. It may say, work on the dream, but do it with love. It may say, this door is closed because another one needs your attention. It may say, take care of yourself before you try to fix everything outside. This is the kind of action that changes your life from the inside. Not wild action, not panic action, not action that tries to prove your worth, but action that grows from self-respect. When you do one thing from love, it heals something in you. When you keep one promise to yourself, your heart begins to trust you. When you take one calm step, the body learns that movement does not have to mean danger. When you stop acting from fear, you begin to build a new relationship with life. Sometimes the most inspired action is very small. It is not always a big moment. It may be drinking water before checking the phone. It may be taking 3 slow breaths before speaking. It may be closing the laptop when your body is tired. It may be writing 1 page instead of judging yourself for not writing 10. It may be cleaning 1 corner of the room. It may be making 1 simple plan for tomorrow. It may be going to bed instead of staying awake with worry. Do not look down on small action. Small action done with peace has deep power. Fear wants big, fast, loud change. It wants everything to happen at once so it can feel safe. But real change often begins quietly. It begins when you stop betraying yourself in small ways. It begins when you stop answering fear every time it calls. It begins when you stop making pressure your main teacher. It begins when you ask, what would love do now? Not fear, not guilt, not panic. Love. That question will guide you better than force ever could. When you ask, what would love do now? The answer may surprise you. Love may say, rest. Love may say, begin. Love may say, wait. Love may say, speak. Love may say, let go. Love may say, try again tomorrow. Love may say, this is not yours to carry. Love may say, this is yours, but you do not have to carry it with fear. Love is not always soft in the way the mind expects. Sometimes love is firm. Sometimes love sets a limit. Sometimes love says no. Sometimes love says enough. We are not doing this to ourselves anymore. Anxious forcing does not know when enough is enough. It can take a good thing and turn it into pressure. It can take healing and make it a race. It can take prayer and make it a demand. It can take work and make it a way to prove you deserve to exist. It can take love and make it a place of fear. This is why you must be gentle but honest with yourself. Ask, is this action helping me return to myself, or is it taking me further away from myself? If it is taking you away from yourself, step back. You can step back before you speak. You can step back before you answer. You can step back before you decide. You can step back before you chase. You can step back before you make the same old choice again. This small pause is a doorway. It lets your higher self enter the moment. It lets wisdom speak before fear acts. It lets you choose instead of react. And every time you choose instead of react, you become freer. Freedom does not always arrive as a big change outside. Sometimes freedom is the moment you feel fear, but do not obey it. Freedom is the moment you want to chase, but you breathe instead. Freedom is the moment you want to force an answer, but you place your hand on your heart and say, I am safe while life moves. Freedom is the moment you do the work because you love your future, not because you hate who you are today. Freedom is the moment action becomes clean again. This is a beautiful way to live. You still have dreams. You still have desires. You still take care of your life. But the fear is no longer the one leading every step. The dream becomes lighter. The work becomes cleaner. The waiting becomes softer. The body becomes less tense. You begin to understand that you can want something deeply and still be at peace now. You can be on the way and still be whole today. Say to yourself, I choose inspired action. I release anxious forcing. I do what is mine to do, and I let life do what I cannot do. Say it slowly. Let the words touch the part of you that thinks everything depends on panic. Let that part learn something new. You are not more powerful when you are afraid. You are more powerful when you are present. You are not more worthy when you are exhausted. You are more aligned when you are loving. You are not safer because you control every detail. You are safer when you know how to return to yourself. The next time you feel the urge to force, do not fight yourself. Simply pause and listen. Ask, is this love or is this fear? If it is love, move gently. If it is fear, breathe first. Wait until the heart softens. Wait until the body feels more open. Wait until the next step becomes clear. You may still take action, but now the action will come from a different place. It will come from trust. It will come from peace. It will come from the deep knowing that life can work with you when you stop making fear your guide. Stepping back can feel simple when we speak about it, but when the moment comes, it can feel very hard. The mind may understand the idea, but the body may still feel afraid. You may say, I want to let go, but another part of you may say, no, if I let go, I will lose it. You may say, I want to trust, but the old fear may answer, what if trust makes me weak? This is why stepping back is not only a thought, it is a deep inner practice. It asks the mind, the body, and the heart to learn a new way of being safe. Many people find it hard to step back because they have lived for a long time in pressure. Pressure becomes normal. Rushing becomes normal. Checking becomes normal. Worry becomes normal. Even pain can begin to feel familiar if you have carried it for many years. So when peace comes, it may not feel peaceful at first. It may feel strange. It may feel empty. It may feel like something is missing. Not because peace is wrong, but because your body is not used to it yet. If you have been holding tight for many years, the open hand may feel unsafe. If you have been chasing for many years, stillness may feel like falling behind. If you have been solving problems for everyone, rest may feel selfish. If you have been living from fear, trust may feel like doing nothing. But these feelings are not always truth. Sometimes they are old training. Sometimes they are the body remembering how it had to survive before. Be gentle with yourself here. You are not failing because stepping back feels hard. You are learning a new rhythm. The old rhythm says, I must keep going or everything will fall apart. The new rhythm says, I can pause and still be supported. The old rhythm says, I must control every detail. The new rhythm says, I can do my part and leave room for life. The old rhythm says, My worth depends on how much I do. The new rhythm says, I am worthy even when I rest. The old rhythm says, silence means danger. The new rhythm says, silence can be a place where wisdom speaks. This change takes time. A nervous system that has been living in fear will not always relax just because you tell it to relax. It needs kindness. It needs gentle proof. It needs small moments where you step back and see that you are still safe. One breath, one pause. One evening without checking so much. One morning where you do not give your mind to noise right away. One moment where you choose not to chase the answer. These small moments teach the body we can be safe without forcing. Sometimes stepping back feels difficult because the mind wants control more than it wants peace. Control can feel like safety for a little while. It gives the mind something to do. It says, if I plan enough, I will not be surprised. If I think enough, I will not be hurt. If I check enough, I will not miss anything. If I hold tightly enough, nothing can leave. But my dear, control is not the same as true safety. Control is often fear trying to make a wall around life, but life is not meant to live inside a wall. Life moves, people move, seasons move, feelings move, plans change. And the heart must learn how to stay with itself while life moves. The mind may say, if I step back, I will not be ready. But stepping back does not mean you stop. It's preparing. It means you stop preparing from panic. The mind may say, if I step back, someone else will win. But your path is not built by comparison. What belongs to your soul cannot be stolen by another person's timing. The mind may say, if I step back, life will forget me. But life does not forget the one who breathes, trusts, and stays open. The mind may say many things. Let it speak, but do not let it rule. Fear often creates false stories. It says a delay means rejection. It says silence means loss. It says rest means laziness. It says not knowing means danger. It says someone else's success means your blessing is gone. It says if your dream is not here now, it may never come. These stories feel true when the body is tense. But when you breathe, when you step back, when you let the nervous system soften, you may see that the story was not truth. It was fear trying to explain uncertainty. Uncertainty is one of the hardest places for the human mind. The mind wants to know. It wants the date, the answer, the reason, the proof, the clear sign. But the soul can grow in the space of not knowing. The soul can learn trust there. The soul can learn patience there. The soul can learn to listen there. Not knowing does not mean you are lost. It may mean life is forming something you cannot yet understand. It may mean the full answer would be too much for this moment. It may mean you are being guided one step at a time instead of all at once. Stepping back feels difficult because it asks you to stop using worry as a way to feel involved. Many people worry because they think worry means they care. They think if they stop worrying, they are being careless. But worry is not love. Worry is fear repeating itself. Love may take action. Love may pray. Love may plan. Love may prepare. Love may speak. But love does not need to hurt the body all day to prove it is real. You can care without worrying yourself into pain. You can love without losing your center. You can want something without making fear your daily home. There is a quiet fear many people carry. If I stop pushing, I will have to feel what I have been avoiding. And sometimes this is true. When you step back, feelings may rise. Old sadness may come up. Tiredness may come up. Anger may come up. A truth you did not want to face may become clear. This is why many people keep busy. Busyness can cover the heart. Noise can cover the wound. Chasing can cover the fear. But what is covered is not healed. It only waits. And stillness gives it a chance to be seen with love. If a feeling rises when you step back, do not be afraid of it. A feeling rising is not a sign that you are going backward. It may be a sign that your heart finally feels safe enough to speak. Let the tear come. Let the breath shake. Let the truth be known. Say, this feeling is allowed to pass through me. I do not need to run from myself. Feelings are like waves. They rise, they move, and they soften when they are not fought. But when we run from them, they stay in the body as tension, worry, and fear. My dear, you do not need to force yourself into piecing. That is another form of pressure. You do not need to say, I must let go perfectly today. You do not need to shame yourself because you are still learning. The path of stepping back is gentle. You begin with one moment, one pause, one choice not to react, one breath before reaching for the phone, one kind word to yourself when fear rises. These little steps matter. They are not small to the soul. They are signs that you are returning. There may also be a part of you that feels guilty when you step back. It may say, I should be doing more. I should be helping more. I should be working more. I should be available more. I should be stronger. Guilt can become a very heavy voice. But not every should is truth. Some shoulds are old fears. Some are old rules. Some are voices you learned from people who did not know how to rest either. You're allowed to ask, is this truly mine? Is this loving? Is this needed now? Or am I only obeying guilt? You are allowed to care for your life without carrying everything. You're allowed to help without becoming empty. You are allowed to love without chasing. You're allowed to be kind without losing yourself. You are allowed to work without making work your whole worth. You are allowed to rest before you collapse. This may feel new. It may feel strange. But new does not mean wrong. Sometimes new simply means free. Stepping back also feels difficult because many people fear that life will not support them unless they suffer. They believe that if something comes easily, it is not real. They believe peace must be earned by exhaustion. They believe good things must be paid for with pain. But this is not the truth of love. Life does not need you to suffer to bless you. Your worth is not measured by how tired you are. Your prayers are not stronger because your body is tense. You do not become more deserving by losing your peace. You are worthy now. You are worthy while you breathe. You are worthy while you learn. You are worthy even in stillness. This may be hard for the mind to accept. The mind may say, "But I have always had to struggle," and maybe you have. Maybe life has asked much from you. Maybe you had seasons where you had to be strong because there was no other choice. Honor that strength. Do not reject it. It brought you here. But now perhaps life is teaching you another kind of strength. Not the strength of holding your breath and pushing through. The strength of opening. The strength of receiving. The strength of saying, "I do not have to live in survival mode forever." Survival mode makes stepping back feel dangerous. In survival mode, the body is always watching. It asks, what could go wrong? Who might leave? What might fail? What must I fix? This state can become so familiar that calm feels boring or unsafe. But peace is not danger. Peace is your natural home. You may need to visit it slowly at first. A minute of stillness, a small prayer, a gentle walk, a quiet evening, a morning without rushing into noise. Little by little, the body learns that peace will know to harm it. When the body begins to learn peace, life begins to feel different. The same delay may not hurt as much. The same silence may not feel so heavy. The same task may not feel like a mountain. The same dream may feel possible again. Not because everything outside changed at once, but because the place you are living from inside has changed. This is why the inner work matters. You do not step back to become passive. You step back to stop being ruled by fear. There is a deep trust that grows when you practice stepping back. It does not come from saying one sentence one time. It comes from showing yourself again and again. I can pause and still be safe. I can rest and still be worthy. I can wait and still be guided. I can loosen my grip and still receive what is right for me. This trust grows like a plant, slowly, quietly, with care. Do not pull at it. Do not judge it for being small. Let it grow. If stepping back feels difficult today, speak to yourself softly. Say, "Of course this feels hard. I have been holding on for a long time." Say, Of course my body feels afraid. It is learning a new way. Say, I do not have to let go of everything at once. I can loosen one finger at a time. This is a kind way to change. You do not rip fear out of the heart. You comfort it until it no longer needs to hold so tightly. You may not be ready to release the whole situation today. That is okay. Release one breath, release one thought, release one check, release one need to know right now. Release one harsh word against yourself. Release one moment of control. That is enough for this moment. The soul does not ask you to become peaceful by force. It invites you to return little by little until peace feels like home again. The spiritual meaning of stepping back is this: you are giving life room to help you. You are no longer standing so close to the problem that you cannot see the path. You are no longer holding the dream so tightly that it cannot breathe. You are no longer filling every quiet space with fear, noise, and control. You are making room for a higher wisdom to move. You are saying, I have done my part for this moment. Now I allow life to do what I cannot see. This is not giving up. This is trust. This is not weakness. This is a deeper strength. It is easy to panic. It is easy to chase. It is easy to repeat the same worry 100 times. It is easy to believe that if you push hard enough, life will finally obey. But it takes a quiet courage to step back and say, I do not need to control every detail to be safe. I do not need to force every door to open. I do not need to know the whole plan today. I trust that life is working in ways I cannot yet see. To step back spiritually means you stop treating life like an enemy. You stop believing that the universe is against you. You stop thinking every delay is a punishment. You stop thinking every closed door is proof that you are forgotten. You begin to say, maybe this pause has purpose. Maybe this closed door is protecting me. Maybe this silence is giving me time to hear myself. Maybe this waiting is not empty. Maybe something is growing where I cannot see it. The mind wants proof. The soul understands growth. The mind says, show me now. The soul says, trust the seed. The mind says, if I cannot see it, nothing is happening. The soul says, many beautiful things begin in the dark. A seed does not look like a tree. Soil does not look like a garden. A quiet season does not always look like progress, but life knows what it is doing beneath the surface. When you step back, you honor the hidden work. Think of a seed again. You place it in the soil. You water it. You give it light. Then you wait. You do not dig it up every morning and say, are you growing? Are you ready? Why are you not a tree yet? If you did that, you would disturb the very life you are trying to help. The seed needs care, but it also needs space. It needs trust. It needs time in the dark. Your dreams are like this. Your healing is like this. Your new life is like this. You must care for it, yes, but you must also stop disturbing it with fear. Stepping back means you stop digging up the seed. You stop asking every hour, is it here yet? Is it working? Am I safe now? Did life hear me? You begin to say, I have planted with love. I will water with love. I will give this time to grow. This does not mean you sit forever and do nothing. It means your action becomes kind. Your waiting becomes faithful. Your heart stops fighting the process. There is a sacred balance between doing and allowing. Doing is your part. Allowing is life's part. You can prepare the soil. You can plant the seed. You can water it. You can remove the weeds. But you cannot force the seed to open with your hands. You cannot command the sun to shine faster. You cannot pull the roots into strength. Some things belong to life. Some things belong to timing. Some things belong to grace. When you forget this, you suffer. When you remember it, you breathe. Many people live as if everything depends on them. Every outcome, every person's feeling, every answer, every chance, every door. This is too much weight for one heart. You were never meant to carry all of life alone. There is a greater movement around you. There is help you cannot always see. There is timing you cannot always understand. There are lessons, openings, and changes that come when the time is right. When you step back, you make room for this greater movement. The spiritual path is not always about doing more. Sometimes it is about trusting more, listening more, softening more, resting more. Sometimes it is about letting the old way fall away. The old way says, I must force life to give me what I need. The new way says, I can become open to the good that is already trying to reach me. The old way says, I must chase love. The new way says, I can become a safe place for love to meet me. The old way says, I must control my future. The new way says, I can take the next step and trust the path to unfold. When you step back, you begin to feel life as a partner. You are not just pushing against the wall, but you are listening to it. You notice the small signs inside your body. You notice where peace grows. You notice where your energy closes. You notice what feels simple and true. You notice what feels heavy and forced. You begin to understand that guidance may not always come as a loud answer. Sometimes guidance comes as a soft feeling of peace. Sometimes it comes as a clear no. Sometimes it comes as a desire to rest. Sometimes it comes as one small idea that arrives when your mind is finally quiet. This is why noise can block spiritual hearing. If the mind is always full, the heart has no space to speak. If every quiet moment is filled with the phone, worry, checking, and fear, the soul's voice becomes hard to hear. But when you step back, Even for a little while, the inner room becomes quiet. And in that quiet, you may hear what was trying to guide you all along. You may hear, "Not this." You may hear, "Wait." You may hear, "Begin again." You may hear, "You are safe." You may hear, "This is not love, this is fear." You may hear, "The next step is smaller than you think." Spiritual guidance is often simple. The mind wants something dramatic. It wants a big sign, a strong feeling, a clear promise. But the soul often gives a simple step. Drink water, rest, apologize, write the page, stop checking, take the walk, make the plan. Let that person be. Trust today. Sleep now. Begin tomorrow. These simple steps may not look magical, but they can change your whole energy. Life often guides through small, loving movements. When you step back, you stop asking fear to explain your life. Fear will always give you a painful story. It will say, "You are late, you are forgotten, you are not chosen, you must try harder, you must hold tighter." But when you step back and listen from the heart, another story begins. It says, "You are learning, you are being guided, you are allowed to rest. What is true will not require you to lose your soul. What is for you will meet you in peace." This does not mean everything will happen exactly as your mind planned. Sometimes stepping back allows life to change the plan. Sometimes it removes what you were clinging to. Sometimes it shows you that the thing you wanted was not the thing your soul needed. This can feel uncomfortable, but many blessings begin as release. Sometimes life takes away the small thing because a deeper thing is waiting. Sometimes life closes the door because your heart was about to settle for too little. Sometimes life slows you down because you were moving from fear, not truth. Trust does not mean you always get what you want. Trust means you believe that life can still love you, guide you, and grow you, even when the path changes. Trust means you stop calling every change a loss. Trust means you stop calling every pause a failure. Trust means you stay open enough to say, "I may not understand this yet, but I am willing to be guided." That willingness is powerful. It keeps the heart open when fear wants to close it. The spiritual meaning of stepping back is also surrender. But surrender does not mean defeat. Surrender means you stop fighting what is not yours to control. You surrender the timing. You surrender the exact way. You surrender the need to make people feel what they do not feel. You surrender the need to force life to answer in the only way your mind can understand. You surrender the belief that worry is helping. You surrender the habit of making your body pay for your fear. In surrender, there is deep relief. The shoulders can drop. The breath can open. The heart can stop begging life for proof every minute. You can say, I am willing to be supported. You can say, I am willing to receive in a way I did not expect. You can say, I am willing to let life surprise me. This is not passive. It is open. It is alive. It is a sacred yes to help. There is also a spiritual lesson in timing. Many people suffer because they believe their timing is the only right timing. They say, it must happen now or it is wrong. But life may be lining up things your eyes cannot see. A person may not be ready. A place may not be ready. You may not be ready. The right support may still be forming. The old pattern may still need to loosen. The new path may still be growing roots. When you step back, you stop fighting time. You begin to trust that what is truly meant for you does not need to be pulled out before it is ready. Think of fruit on a tree. If you pick it too early, it may be hard and bitter. It needed more time in the sun. It needed more time to sweeten. Some blessings are like this. They need time. They need inner growth. They need the right season. If fear grabs too soon, it may not be able to receive the blessing fully. But when trust waits with love, what arrives can be sweeter, softer, and more aligned. This is not always easy. Waiting can touch old wounds. It can bring up the fear of being forgotten. It can bring up the fear of not being enough. It can bring up the fear that others are ahead and you are behind. But the spiritual path reminds you, you are not in a race with another soul. Your life has its own rhythm. Your healing has its own pace. Your dream has its own season. Your blessing is not made smaller by someone else's blessing. There is room in life for you too. Stepping back helps you stop comparing your path to someone else's path. Comparison is another way fear keeps you rushing. It says, look at them. They have more. They are further. They are chosen. You are late. But the soul does not grow by comparison. A rose does not look at a tree and say, I am failing because I am not tall. A river does not look at a mountain and say, I am wrong because I move. Each part of life has its own beauty, its own timing, its own way. You do too. When you step back from comparison, you come home to your own path. You ask, what is life asking of me today? Not, how do I become like someone else? You ask, what is growing in me? Not, why am I not where they are? You ask, what is my next loving step? This is peace. This is alignment. This is how life starts working with you, because you are no longer trying to live from another person's rhythm. The spiritual meaning of stepping back is not to become empty. It is to become available to guidance, available to peace, available to love, available to the next right step, available to the good that cannot enter while fear is blocking the door. When your mind is full of control, there is little room for fresh wisdom. But when you step back, you create space. And space is holy. Space is where new thoughts arrive. Space is where peace returns. Space is where your heart remembers what it already knows. You may think, if I step back, life will stop moving. But often the opposite happens. When you stop forcing, movement becomes cleaner. When you stop chasing, what is not for you can fall away, and what is true can come closer. When you stop shouting at the closed door, you may finally notice the open one beside it. When you stop gripping the old plan, a better idea may come. When you stop filling your mind with noise, the answer may rise from within. There is a kind of life that cannot be reached through force. It can only be received through trust. Peace cannot be forced. Real love cannot be forced. Deep healing cannot be forced. Inner guidance cannot be forced. You can create the right conditions. You can care for yourself. You can tell the truth. You can take the next step. But then you must allow the gentle work of life to meet you. Allowing is a spiritual act. It says, I believe there is more working for me than what I can see. It says, I believe my peace matters. It says, I believe I do not have to suffer to deserve good. It says, I believe life can reach me when I am open. This belief may begin small. That is fine. A small trust is still trust. A small opening is still an opening. A small pause can still change the direction of the whole day. You can practice this today in a very simple way. Choose one thing you have been holding too tightly. Maybe it is an answer. Maybe it is a dream. Maybe it is a person. Maybe it is money. Maybe it is healing. Maybe it is the future. Place your hand on your heart and say, I care about this, but I do not need to choke it with fear. I give it room. I give life room. I give myself room. Then take one slow breath. Let the breath remind you that life is already moving through you. Say, I step back and I allow life to work. Say, I do my part with love. Say, I release what is not mine to control. Say, I trust the quiet work I cannot see. Say, I am safe while life is moving. These words are not meant to control life. They are meant to calm the part of you that thinks control is the only way to be safe. They help your body remember that trust can be practiced one breath at a time. The more you practice stepping back, the more you may notice support in simple places. A calm thought, a better choice, a kind message, a small opening, a new idea, a deeper sleep, a softer morning, a feeling that you do not need to chase today. These may seem small, but they are signs of life moving through peace. Do not ignore them because they are gentle. The gentle signs are often the most true. Life starts working for you, and you stop pushing against it in every moment. It starts working for you when you become willing to listen. It starts working for you when you stop making fear the manager of your future. It starts working for you when you stop telling every seed to become a tree by tomorrow. It starts working for you when you say, I am here, I am open, I am ready to move with love, not panic. This is the deeper meaning of stepping back. It is not a loss of power. It is a return to sacred power, the power to pause, the power to trust, the power to listen, the power to wait without losing yourself, the power to act when the action is clean, the power to release what is not yours, the power to stand in the unknown and still say, life is with me, life is guiding me, life is working in the quiet. And when you live this way, something inside begins to soften. You no longer need to fight every moment. You no longer need to pull every answer out of life. You no longer need to prove that you deserve support by being exhausted. You begin to feel that peace is not a reward after control. Peace is the place where real guidance begins. You begin to feel that stepping back is not the end of the dream. It may be the very space where the dream can finally breathe. There is a quiet trap that many loving hearts fall into, and it does not always look like fear at first. It looks like checking. It looks like searching. It looks like scrolling. It looks like reading one more message, watching one more video, looking for one more sign, asking one more question, refreshing one more page, trying one more time to feel sure. The mind says, I am only trying to understand. The heart says, I am only trying to feel safe. But many times, underneath all of this, there is a tired fear whispering, I cannot rest until I know. This is why stepping back is so important. Because sometimes the thing that keeps you stuck is not the problem itself. Sometimes it is the constant checking of the problem. Sometimes it is not the silence that hurts you most, but the way you keep staring at the silence and asking it to become an answer. Sometimes it is not the delay that drains you most, but the way you keep measuring the delay, touching it, thinking about it, and turning it into proof that life is not working. My dear, a watched wound cannot rest. A watched seed cannot grow in peace. A watched dream can become heavy under the eyes of fear. The world gives the mind many ways to avoid stillness. A phone in the hand, a screen beside the bed, a message to wait for, a page to refresh, a new thought to chase, a new worry to feed, a new sign to look for. And because the mind is used to this noise, silence can begin to feel strange. A simple moment can feel empty. A quiet room can feel uncomfortable. A slow day can feel like nothing is happening. But the quiet is not empty. The quiet is where your soul starts to speak. When you are always checking, the mind never gets to rest. It is always waiting for the next piece of proof. It wants proof that you are loved, proof that you are safe, proof that your dream is coming, proof that you are not forgotten, proof that the future will be kind. But proof outside you can never fully calm fear inside you. It may calm you for a moment, but then fear asks again. It says, "Are you sure? Check again, look again, ask again, search again." And little by little, your peace becomes tied to something outside your own heart. This is not freedom. Freedom begins when you can step back from the need to check and say, "I am safe in this moment," even before the answer comes. Freedom begins when you can let the phone sit down and let your body breathe. Freedom begins when you can stop asking life to send a sign every few minutes and start trusting the quiet wisdom already living inside you. Freedom begins when you realize that not every empty space must be filled with noise. Noise can feel exciting, but it does not always feed the soul. It may keep the mind busy, but it can leave the heart hungry. You may scroll for an hour and still feel lonely. You may check many times and still feel unsure. You may search for spiritual signs and still feel far from peace. This is because the soul is not asking for more noise. It is asking for presence. It is asking for a soft return. It is asking you to come back to your own breath, your own body, your own inner voice. There is nothing wrong with using the world. There is nothing wrong with learning, reading, listening, or receiving help. But when these things become a way to run from yourself, they begin to drain you. When every quiet moment becomes something you must escape, the heart never feels held. When every uncertain moment becomes something you must solve right away, the body never feels safe. When every feeling is covered by a screen, the feeling waits underneath, still asking for love. Sometimes the next spiritual step is not another video. It is not another message. It is not another answer from outside. Sometimes the next spiritual step is to sit quietly and say, "What am I afraid to feel right now?" Sometimes the next step is to put the phone down and place your hand on your heart. Sometimes the next step is to drink water, take a breath, look out the window, and let the nervous system come back to the present moment. Sometimes the next step is not more information. It is more peace. The mind may say, "But I need to know." And yes, there are times when knowledge is helpful. There are times when you must ask, learn, plan, and prepare. But there is also a kind of searching that does not come from wisdom. It comes from panic. It does not make you clear. It makes you more restless. It does not help you choose. It makes you doubt yourself more. It does not bring peace. It gives a short comfort, then asks for another comfort, and another, and another. This is how overchecking becomes a habit. You check because you are afraid. Then checking gives you a small feeling of control. Then the feeling fades. Then fear returns. Then you check again. The body begins to believe that checking is the only way to feel safe. But this is not true. You can teach your body another way. You can teach it that safety can come from breath. Safety can come from stillness. Safety can come from trust. Safety can come from saying, I do not need to know everything right now. I am allowed to be here. My dear, your peace must not depend on a screen. Your worth must not depend on a message. Your future must not depend on one sign appearing at the exact time fear demands it. Life is larger than one moment. Guidance is deeper than one answer. Love is wider than one response. Your path is not lost because you stepped away from checking. In fact, stepping away may be the very thing that helps you hear the truth more clearly. When you are overstimulated, everything becomes louder than it is. A small delay feels huge. A simple silence feels personal. A small task feels too much. A quiet evening feels boring. The nervous system becomes used to being pushed, pulled, and stirred all day. Then peace feels unfamiliar. But peace is not boring. Peace is deep. Peace is rich. Peace is gentle. Peace is the place where simple things become alive again. When the mind has had too much noise, a cup of tea may feel like nothing. A walk may feel too slow. A quiet prayer may feel too plain. Cleaning a small space may feel unimportant. Sitting with your feelings may feel dull. But these things are not dull. The mind has only forgotten how to taste them. It has been fed too much fast energy. It has been taught to want the next spark, the next sound, the next message, the next little excitement. But the soul does not heal through constant sparks. The soul heals through presence. Presence is simple. It is feeling the breath enter and leave. It is feeling your feet on the floor. It is noticing the light in the room. It is hearing the quiet sound around you. It is eating without rushing. It is walking without needing to prove anything. It is letting a thought pass without following it into fear. It is letting the body know, I am here with you. These little things may look small, but they are powerful because they bring your life back to you. Overchecking takes you away from yourself. Presence brings you home. Overchecking says, my safety is somewhere outside me. Presence says, I can meet this moment from within. Overchecking says, I must find proof. Presence says, I can build trust. Overchecking says, life must answer me now. Presence says, I am willing to listen in the quiet. This does not mean you must suddenly remove all noise from your life. Do not make this another rule to punish yourself with. Begin gently. Put the phone down for a few minutes in the morning. Let one meal be quiet. Take one walk without needing to record it. Leave one message unanswered until your body is calm. Sit for 1 minute before you search for more proof. These small choices are not small to your nervous system. They are signs of safety. They say, we are not ruled by noise anymore. At first, this may feel hard. The hand may reach for the phone without thinking. The mind may feel restless. The body may feel uneasy, It may say, do something, check something, fill this space. This does not mean you are failing. It means you are meeting the habit. Smile at it gently. Say, I know you want to protect me, but we are learning peace now. Then breathe. Let the urge rise and soften. You do not have to obey every urge. You can watch it pass. Every time you step back from overchecking, you take your energy back. Every time you choose silence over noise, you make room for inner guidance. Every time you refuse to chase another quick comfort, you teach the body that it can survive uncertainty, and more than survive it, it can grow in it. The unknown does not have to be a place of fear. It can be a place of trust. It can be a place where the soul becomes stronger, softer, and more honest. You may begin to notice that when you stop checking so much, your mind becomes clearer. You stop reading danger into everything. You stop making every small thing a sign. You stop giving your power to things that cannot truly hold you. You begin to hear the deeper question, what do I need right now? Not, what proof can I find? Not, how can I control this? But, what would bring me back to peace? Sometimes the answer will be rest. Sometimes it will be action. Sometimes it will be a clear boundary. Sometimes it will be a simple task. Sometimes it will be prayer. Sometimes it will be doing nothing for a few minutes until the storm in the body settles. The right answer becomes easier to hear when the mind is not full of noise. So step back from the noise, my dear. Not forever. Not with anger. Not with fear. Step back with love. Step back because your mind deserves quiet. Step back because your heart deserves space. Step back because your life is not meant to be lived only through reaction. Step back because life may be trying to speak to you in a voice softer than the world. Say to yourself, I do not need to check to be safe. I do not need to chase proof to be loved. I do not need to fill every silence. I can be here. I can breathe. I can trust. Say it slowly. Let it become a new path inside you. Let the old need for noise soften. Let simple things become alive again. Let your soul remember that the peace you are looking for will not come from one more check. It will come from the moment you return to yourself. The way you begin your day matters, my dear. The first moments of the morning are like a doorway. They carry a gentle power. Before the world enters, before the messages, before the demands, before the noise, there is a small holy space. In that space, you can choose how you meet the day. You can meet it with panic, or you can meet it with peace. You can give your first energy to the world, or you can give your first energy to your own soul. So many people wake up and reach for the phone before they have even taken a full breath. Before they have greeted the body, the world is already inside the mind. Other people's words, other people's lives, other people's problems, other people's joy, other people's anger, other people's noise. And then the day begins with comparison, worry, pressure, and speed. The mind has not even had a chance to say, I am here. The heart has not had a chance to feel safe. The body has not had a chance to wake slowly. When you begin this way, the day can feel like it belongs to everyone except you. You may feel behind before your feet touch the floor. You may feel anxious before breakfast. You may feel scattered before you have done anything. This is not because the day is bad. It is because your first doorway was open to noise instead of peace. My dear, your morning is precious. Do not give it away too quickly. To begin the day with trust does not need to be complicated. It does not need to be perfect. It does not need to be long. You can begin with one breath. Before you reach for the phone, breathe. Before you ask what the world wants from you, ask what your soul needs from you. Before you rush into the day, place one hand on your heart and say, I am safe to begin slowly. I am safe to be here. Life is with me today. Let your body hear you. Let your mind hear you. Let your heart hear you. These simple words are not small. They tell your whole system that the day does not have to begin in fear. They tell the body that it does not need to run before it has stood up. They tell the heart that it will not be abandoned today. They tell the mind that it does not have to carry the whole future before the sun has even warmed the room. Drink water slowly. Feel your feet on the floor. Notice the breath. Let the face soften. Let the shoulders drop. Say, good morning, dear body. Good morning, dear mind. We are beginning again. This may sound simple, but simple things can heal when they are done with love. A loving morning is a message to your subconscious mind. It says, I matter, my peace matters, my energy matters. I will not feed fear first. Then ask one gentle question. What one thing matters today? Not 10 things, not the whole life, not every dream at once. Just one thing. What one action would help you respect yourself today? What one step would support your peace? What one choice would make your future self feel cared for? Maybe it is writing a page. Maybe it is moving the body. Maybe it is cleaning one small area. Maybe it is making a simple plan. Maybe it is preparing food with care. Maybe it is prayer. Maybe it is rest because the body is tired. The answer does not have to impress anyone. It only needs to be true. When you do one meaningful thing before the noise, your energy changes. You feel stronger in a quiet way. Not because you forced yourself, not because you became harsh, but because you kept a promise to yourself. And keeping a promise to yourself is a deep form of self-love. It tells the heart, I can trust me. It tells the body, we are not only reacting today. It tells the mind, we can choose where our energy goes. This is very important. Do not give the best part of your mind to distraction and the tired leftover part to your dream. Do not give the first light of your day to fear and then wonder why your soul feels dim. Begin with what matters. Begin with peace. Begin with one honest step. This does not need to be dramatic. A small step done with presence is better than a big plan done with panic. A seed is small, but it knows how to become a tree. And when the mind says, "This is not enough," answer gently, "It is enough for this moment." Fear likes to dismiss small steps. Fear says, if it is not big, it does not count. But life grows through small, faithful acts. A peaceful morning is built one choice at a time. A new life is built one honest action at a time. Trust is built one breath at a time. Do not judge the size. Honor the direction. Now let us speak of the evening, because tomorrow's peace is often planted the night before. Many people try to wake up calm after falling asleep in noise. They spend the last hour scrolling, worrying, checking, comparing, replaying conversations, planning from fear, and filling the mind with other people's lives. Then they wonder why sleep feels heavy and morning feels hard. But the body listens to the whole evening. The mind carries the last energy you give it. The heart goes into sleep, holding the atmosphere you created. If the last hour of the day is full of fear, the subconscious mind carries fear into the night. If the last hour is full of noise, the mind keeps moving even when the body lies down. If the last hour is full of anger, comparison, and worry, the heart does not know it is safe to rest. My dear, sleep is not only something the body does. Sleep is a sacred surrender. It is the time when you stop holding yourself upright and let life hold you for a while. The evening should help you enter that surrender gently. This does not mean you need a perfect evening routine. Please do not turn peace into another strict rule. The point is not perfection. The point is softness. The point is to lower the inner light. The point is to tell the nervous system, the day is ending now. We do not have to carry everything into sleep. Even one small evening practice can begin to change the way your body rests. Instead of one more hour of scrolling, write down 3 simple things for tomorrow. Not a heavy list, not a list to punish yourself. Just 3 gentle anchors so the mind does not have to hold everything all night. Instead of replaying what someone said, place your hand on your heart and say, I release this day. I bless what I learned. I do not need to carry every word into sleep. Instead of filling the quiet with noise, sit for a few minutes and let the breath slow down. Instead of asking the mind to solve the whole future at night, tell it, we will meet tomorrow when tomorrow comes. The evening is a place of release. You release what did not get finished. You release what you cannot control tonight. You release the need to make everyone understand. You release the need to know every answer before sleep. You release the harsh voice that says you should have done more. And you say, I did what I could today. I am allowed to rest. Life can work while I sleep. This is a beautiful thought. Life can work while you sleep. The body repairs. The mind clears. The heart softens. The unseen continues to move. You do not have to stay awake worrying to keep life in motion. Your worry is not what keeps the stars in place. Your fear is not what makes the morning come. Life continues. Life holds you. Life works in quiet ways. Let this comfort you. Before sleep, speak gently to yourself. Say, I step back from this day. I return to peace. I give my worries to the night. I allow my body to rest. I allow my mind to soften. I allow life to work in ways I cannot see. Let these words be simple. Let them be soft. Do not say them like a task. Say them like a lullaby for your own heart. If the mind still wants to run, do not fight it. Fighting the mind only makes it louder. Say, thank you for trying to protect me, but we are resting now. If a worry returns, breathe and say, not tonight. If a memory comes, breathe and say, I release this with love. If the fear says, what if something goes wrong, say, if there is something to do, I will meet it when the time is right. For now, I rest. This is how trust enters daily life, not as one big idea, but as a rhythm. Morning trust, evening trust. Begin with what matters, end with peace. Begin by listening to your soul before the world becomes loud, end by giving the day back to life. This rhythm teaches the body that it is safe to live without constant pressure. It teaches the mind that it does not have to begin and end every day in fear. It teaches the heart that it can be held. As this rhythm grows, you may notice small changes. The morning may feel cleaner, the evening may feel softer. Your thoughts may become less sharp. Your body may begin to settle faster. You may stop reaching for noise so quickly. You may begin to enjoy simple things again. The first drink of water, the quiet light in the room, the feeling of a finished small task, the comfort of writing tomorrow's first step, the peace of placing the phone away and choosing yourself. These are not little things. They are ways of returning to your own life. They are ways of saying, I will not let fear be the first voice and the last voice of my day. They are ways of telling the universe, I am available for peace. I am available for guidance. I am available for the good that comes when I'm not scattered in every direction. Begin and end the day with trust, my dear. Not perfectly, lovingly. If you forget one morning, begin again the next. If one evening becomes noisy, soften the next one. Do not shame yourself. Shame is not the path. Return is the path. Every morning gives you a new doorway. Every evening gives you a new release. You are allowed to begin again. You are allowed to learn peace slowly. You are allowed to build a life where your soul is not an afterthought. Say in the morning, "This first breath belongs to peace." Say in the evening, "This last breath belongs to trust." And between those two breaths, let life meet you. Let life guide you. Let life show you that when you stop giving your best energy to fear, your day begins to feel different. Not perfect, but different, softer, clearer, more your own. Now, my dear, let us make this very simple. Step back for 10 minutes, not forever, not for the whole day, not as a perfect spiritual practice. Just 10 minutes. 10 minutes without forcing. 10 minutes without checking. 10 minutes without trying to fix your whole life. 10 minutes where you do not need to become better, prove anything, answer everything, or chase anything. 10 minutes where you simply allow yourself to be. This may sound easy, but for a mind used to pressure, it can feel very strange. The mind may say, "What is the point?" The body may feel restless. The hand may want the phone. The thoughts may begin to race. A part of you may say, "This is wasting time." Do not believe that voice too quickly. That voice may be the old fear speaking. It may not understand stillness yet. It may not know that stillness is not wasted time. Stillness is where you return to yourself. Find a safe place to sit. Let the body be supported. Let the hands rest. Let the face soften. Put the phone away. No music unless silence feels too much at first. No screen, no lesson, no message, no outside voice telling you what to feel, just you and the breath. You do not need to sit in a special way. You do not need to empty the mind. You do not need to do anything perfectly. Just sit and allow yourself to be here. Let the breath come in. Let the breath leave. Do not force it. Do not try to make it spiritual. Just notice that life is breathing you. Even when you are not trying, the breath comes. Even when you are not controlling, the heart beats. Even when you are not solving, life is moving inside you. Let this be your first lesson. You are already being held in ways you do not have to command. You may say softly, "I am safe to step back." Then breathe. "I am safe to stop chasing." Then breathe. "I am safe to let life work." Then breathe. "I do not need to force this moment." Then breathe. Let the words be simple. Simple words reach the body. Hard words are not needed. The heart understands kindness. The nervous system understands repetition. Speak to yourself like you would speak to someone you love. After a few moments, the mind may wander. This is normal. The mind thinks. That is what minds do. Do not become angry. Do not say, "I am bad at this." There is no bad at this. When the mind wanders, notice gently and return. Return to the breath. Return to the body. Return to the words, I am safe in stillness. Each return is the practice, not perfect silence. Return, not perfect peace. Return, not a blank mind. Return. The first few minutes may show you how busy your inner world has been. You may notice thoughts you did not know were there. You may notice worry under the surface. You may notice tiredness. You may notice sadness. You may notice the urge to jump up and do something. Do not fear this. Stillness did not create the unrest. Stillness revealed what was already there. This is a gift, even if it feels uncomfortable. You cannot love what you never allow yourself to see. If boredom comes, let boredom be there. Boredom is not dangerous. It may simply be the mind asking for noise. Let it ask. You do not have to obey. If sadness comes, let sadness be there. It may be an old feeling, finally finding a quiet place to move. If fear comes, place a hand on your heart and say, I am here. I will not leave myself. If restlessness comes, say, this is energy moving. I do not need to run from it. 10 minutes of stepping back teaches the body a new truth. It teaches the body that silence is not danger. It teaches the mind that it does not need constant noise to be safe. It teaches the heart that feelings can rise and pass. It teaches your spirit that you can be with yourself without judgment. This is a deep healing, not loud, not dramatic, but deep. Many people are afraid of quiet because quiet shows them what they have been carrying. But what you see in quiet is not there to hurt you. It is there to be healed. You may see that you are tired of chasing. You may see that you have been trying to prove your worth. You may see that you have been waiting for someone else to give you peace. You may see that you have been using noise to avoid a decision. You may see that you have been forcing because rest feels unsafe. Good. Not good because it is painful, but good because now it is in the light. Once something is in the light, it can be loved. It can be softened. It can be changed. You can say, this is the part of me that is afraid to stop. This is the part of me that thinks I must earn love. This is the part of me that thinks I will fall behind if I rest. And then you do not punish that part. You comfort it. You say, darling, we are learning another way. We do not have to live from fear anymore. This is the difference between stepping back and avoiding life. Avoiding life says, I do not want to face anything. Stepping back says, I am becoming quiet enough to face life with love. Avoidance numbs. Stepping back restores. Avoidance runs away. Stepping back returns home. Avoidance hides from truth. Stepping back makes a safe place for truth to speak. So do not confuse stillness with escape. True stillness makes you more honest, not less. After 10 minutes, you may know exactly what to do next. That often happens. When fear becomes quiet, guidance can rise. You may feel, I need to rest. You may feel, I need to write this down. You may feel, I need to stop chasing that. You may feel, I need to take one clear step. You may feel, I need to forgive myself. You may feel, I need to wait. The answer may not be loud, but it may be clean. And if no answer comes, that is also okay. Do not turn stillness into another way to demand results. The purpose of 10 minutes is not to force guidance. It is to come back to yourself. Sometimes the result is simply a softer body, a slower breath, a little less pressure, a little more space. That is enough. Peace is not small. A calmer nervous system is not small. A heart that feels a little safer is not small. You can practice this in the morning before the world enters. You can practice it in the evening before sleep. You can practice it when you want to chase. You can practice it when you feel rejected by silence. You can practice it when the mind says, do more now. You can practice it when you do not know what to do. 10 minutes can become a sacred pause in the middle of fear. If 10 minutes feels too long, begin with 2. If 2 feels too long, begin with 1. One honest minute of presence is better than 30 forced minutes of self-judgment. Remember, this is not about becoming perfect. This is about becoming gentle. This is about teaching your body that it can rest without danger. This is about teaching your heart that it does not need to earn peace through pain. Say, for this minute I stop forcing. Say, for this breath I stop chasing. Say, for this moment I let life hold what I cannot hold. Let that be enough. Let the simple practice be simple. The mind may want to make it bigger, harder, more special, but the soul loves what is sincere. A sincere breath can open the heart. A sincere pause can change the energy of a day. A sincere moment of trust can begin a new path. The more you practice, the more you may notice that the urge to chase does not control you as much. It may still come, but you will see it sooner. You will feel it in the body. You will say, this is fear asking me to run. Then you can choose. You can breathe. You can wait. You can ask, what is the loving step? This is how freedom grows. Not by never feeling fear, but by no longer obeying it every time. 10 minutes of stepping back is a way of saying to life, I am willing to receive. It is a way of opening the hand. It is a way of loosening the grip. It is a way of taking your power back from noise, panic, and old patterns. It is a way of saying, my peace matters, my body matters, my inner voice matters. And life responds to that kind of openness. Maybe not always in the way the mind expects, but in the way the soul needs. So sit, breathe, and let yourself be. Let life move without your hands on every piece. Let the dream breathe. Let the answer breathe. Let the body breathe. Let your heart come out from under the pressure. You are not doing nothing. You are returning. You are listening. You are making space. You are letting life work where fear used to stand. Life starts working when you stop fighting every part of the process. It starts working when you stop calling every delay a failure. It starts working when you stop treating every silence as rejection. It starts working when you stop making every unknown moment into danger. It starts working when you step back, breathe, and say, I am willing to trust what I cannot yet see. This does not mean life becomes perfect. It means you stop adding fear to every situation. It means you stop making your own body carry the weight of every possible future. It means you stop using your mind as a place to rehearse pain. It means you begin to meet life with a softer heart and a clearer spirit. And from that place, everything begins to feel different. When you stop forcing, the body begins to calm. The breath becomes deeper. The jaw softens. The shoulders drop. The stomach loosens. The mind stops running quite so fast. The heart begins to feel that maybe it does not have to fight for every blessing. Maybe good can come through peace. Maybe support can arrive through an open hand. Maybe trust is not weakness. Maybe trust is wisdom. When you stop forcing, your actions become cleaner. You still move, but you move from a better place. You still care, but you do not cling. You still work, but you do not punish yourself. You still pray, but you do not beg in fear. You still want, but you do not turn the wanting into suffering. This is a beautiful shift. The life outside may not change in 1 second, but the life inside begins to change immediately. A peaceful person can see more clearly than a frantic person. When you are frantic, you may run past the right door because you are too busy beating on the closed one. When you are frantic, you may mistake urgency for guidance. When you are frantic, you may say yes from fear and no from pain. But when you are peaceful, you can feel the difference. You can feel when something is true. You can feel when something is heavy. You can feel when the next step is loving. You can feel when the old pattern is trying to take over. Peace does not make you passive. Peace makes you clear. Peace helps you know what is yours to do and what is not yours to carry. Peace helps you choose the message that needs to be sent and leave the one that fear wanted to send. Peace helps you do the work that matters and release the work that only proves you are afraid. Peace helps you rest without guilt and act without panic. Peace helps you stop making every choice from survival. When you stop forcing, you also stop blocking your own receiving. A clenched heart cannot receive easily. A busy mind cannot hear easily. A tense body cannot rest deeply. But when you soften, something opens. You become more available to ideas, kindness, timing, support, and guidance. You begin to notice small blessings you were too worried to see. You begin to feel the quiet help that was already around you. Sometimes life was not withholding from you. Sometimes it was waiting for you to stop pushing long enough to notice the help. Sometimes the answer was not far away. It was quiet. Sometimes the next step was not hidden. It was simple. Sometimes the support was not missing. It was entering through a door you did not expect. Fear looks in one direction and says, "Nothing is happening." Peace looks around and says, "Let me see what life is showing me." This is why stepping back can feel like a miracle, even when nothing dramatic happens. The miracle may be that you stop hurting yourself with worry. The miracle may be that you sleep better. The miracle may be that you do not chase the same thing today. The miracle may be that you choose one loving action instead of 10 fearful ones. The miracle may be that you finally feel your own heart again. These are real miracles, quiet miracles, inner miracles, the kind that change the way you live. The mind may still ask, "But what if I stop forcing and nothing happens?" Answer it gently. Something is already happening. Your body is learning peace. Your mind is clearing. Your heart is opening. Your energy is returning. Your intuition is becoming easier to hear. Your actions are becoming more honest. Your life is no longer being dragged by fear. That is not nothing. That is the beginning of everything. Fear only trusts what it can see. The soul trusts what it can feel. Fear says, "Show me the result first, then I will relax." The soul says, "Relax, and you will see more clearly." Fear says, "Control the path." The soul says, "Take the next step." Fear says, "Hold tighter." The soul says, "Open your hand." Fear says, "Do more." The soul says, "Do what is true." This is the new way of living. Less chasing, more allowing. Less pressure, more peace. Less noise, more listening. Less panic, more trust. Less control, more breath. Less forcing, more faith. Not faith that says you never need to act. Faith that says you can act without fear being your master. Faith that says you can care without losing yourself. Faith that says life is still moving even when the mind cannot see the whole picture. My dear, step back from the need to know everything today. Step back from the thought that says you are late. Step back from the voice that says rest is failure. Step back from the habit of turning every silence into danger. Step back from the old story that says you must suffer to deserve good. Step back from the belief that your worth depends on how tightly you can hold everything together. You are allowed to be supported. You are allowed to receive. You are allowed to let life surprise you. You are allowed to stop chasing what makes you lose your peace. You are allowed to take one gentle step and then let the step breathe. You are allowed to trust that what is truly aligned with your soul does not require you to abandon your soul to receive it. Life starts working when you become willing to work with it, not against it. Work with the morning. Work with the evening. Work with the breath. Work with the quiet. Work with the next step. Work with the open hand. Work with the soft heart. Work with the timing you cannot yet understand. Work with the wisdom that says, not everything needs to be forced. Some things need to be allowed. When you live this way, simple things begin to feel alive again. The morning feels like a beginning, not a race. The evening feels like a release, not a collapse. A quiet moment feels like a friend, not an enemy. Waiting feels less like punishment and more like preparation. Action feels less like panic and more like care. Your own body begins to feel like home again. You may still have hard days. You may still feel fear. You may still want to check, chase, and force. But now you know another way. You can pause. You can breathe. You can return. You can say, I see this fear, but I do not have to obey it. You can say, I am willing to step back. You can say, life is working in the quiet. You can say, I release force. I choose stillness. I trust life. These words are not magic because they control the outside world. They are powerful because they change the world inside you. And when the world inside you changes, your choices change, your energy changes, your vision changes. Your life begins to meet a calmer version of you. And that calmer version can receive more, see more, and love more. You do not have to force the river. You can learn to move with it. You do not have to pull the flower open. You can water the roots. You do not have to shout at the seed. You can give it light. You do not have to chase every blessing. You can become open to the blessing that belongs to your peace. Step back, my dear, not because you are giving up. Step back because you are giving life room. Step back because your soul needs air. Step back because the answer may come when the noise becomes quiet. Step back because your body deserves rest. Step back because your heart deserves trust. Step back because life may already be working for you in ways you cannot see. Take a slow breath now. Let the breath come in gently. Let it leave softly. Let the body know that for this moment, nothing needs to be forced. Nothing needs to be chased. Nothing needs to be held so tightly that your heart cannot breathe. You are here. Life is here. And this moment is enough to begin again. Say quietly within yourself, I step back and life begins to move. I release force and peace returns. I stop chasing and my heart comes home. Let these words settle into the body. Let them reach the tired places. Let them touch the part of you that has been trying so hard to make everything happen. Let them remind you that you are not here to live in constant pressure. You are here to grow, to love, to heal, to trust, to create, and to receive. You do not have to solve your whole life today. You do not have to understand every delay. You do not have to know why every door closed. You do not have to hold every answer in your hands. You can take one breath. You can take one step. You can choose one quiet moment. You can begin the morning with trust. You can end the evening in peace. You can sit for 10 minutes and let your soul remember that stillness is safe. The life that is meant for your peace will not ask you to destroy yourself to receive it. The love that is true will not need you to chase until you are empty. The dream that belongs to your soul will not grow better under panic. It will grow through care, trust, action, rest, and time. Let your dreams breathe. Let your body breathe. Let your heart breathe. Let life breathe through you. There is a wisdom moving in ways you cannot always see. There is a timing softer than fear. There is a path that opens one step at a time. There is help that comes when the heart is open enough to notice. There is guidance that speaks when the mind becomes quiet enough to hear. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are not weak because you need rest. You are not failing because you are learning how to trust. From this moment, let there be less forcing and more allowing, less panic and more prayer, less noise and more listening, less chasing and more returning, less control and more peace. Let the simple things become a live again. Let the morning hold you gently. Let the evening soften you. Let your breath bring you back. Let your heart learn that stepping back is not the end of your dream. It may be the space where your dream finally begins to grow. You are safe to step back. You are safe to stop forcing. You are safe to let life work in ways you cannot yet see. You are safe to rest from the old fight. You are safe to open your hand. You are safe to trust the quiet. Life loves you. Life supports you. Life is moving with you. And as you become still enough to receive, you may discover that life has been working for you all along.